Hi my loves, so today I am back with another video. If I look the same as my previous video, it's because this is a filming day for me and I cannot be arsed changing my clothes just to film. So you're getting the same look in two videos. So today I am going to be doing my book series that I've completed list. I will redo this maybe once every year, depending on how many series I finish or continue, whatever. So this is just up till now the series I have continued. It does not include the series that I have completed in 2021. That will come at the end of the year. It just includes everything up until the end of 2020. So if you're interested to know what series I have completed, please stick around.
I'm so scared of falling down. I just won't climb in the first place.
So I just have my bullet journal here and I'm going to read off the list and I will put images on the screen somewhere. Editing Shannon's problem. And yeah, so I'm just gonna kick it off, and the first one I'm gonna kick it off with is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I love this series. I am up to date. I have read all of the books. I think so. I've read the first three times. I've read the fourth one twice, and I've read A Court of Silver Flames once, and I will do a reread soon. But yeah, this series for me is just oh, which yeah. This series for me is just absolutely amazing. I love the characters, I love the world, I love it all. This was like the first series that I had read that I actually had so much passion about, and like I had watched booktube quite a lot, so I'd seen a lot of people be passionate about the things in books they enjoy, and I just never really felt that way about a lot of series. Like some of them I've completed and they've been alright. This series, however, just blew me out of the water. I honestly think that this book series could be 50 books long and I will read and read and read because I love the world, I love the characters, I love the writing. It's just totally my cup of tea. And yeah, so pretty much I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am up to date and we stan everything A Court of Thorns and Roses in this house. I mean, Faison, I don't know Nesta and Cassian's like shit name, but their name, like we just love it. As Morrigan, who is my personal favorite, just the whole world in general, I love it. I will never stop reading the series or recommending it. So if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, please do. You will not regret it. The first book's okay. The second book is where it really kicks off. But I'm sure you've already heard of it. But if you have not picked it up yet, this is your time to pick it up and join us crazy lot in the fandom because it's so much fun. The next series I have here is Twilight. So I finished Twilight quite a while ago. I recently just finished, well, it wasn't recently, it was like when it came out, Midnight Sun, so I'm completely up to date. I have not read the A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I believe it's called. I have not read that yet, but I don't know if I'm going to. That's not even Twilight, that's Hunger Games. Wow, where did that come from? Right, no, scratch that. I have finished Twilight and I just recently finished Midnight Sun. Um, and yeah, like I finished Twilight when I was younger. It was like a teenage fun read. I don't think they would hold up on reread. And The Midnight Sun came out at 3.5 stars. So I did enjoy it for what it was. I feel like a lot of it was nostalgia, and that's why I gave it like that kind of rating. But yeah, I had fun with it when I read it. Probably wouldn't reread it. And yeah, I'm just gonna watch the movies. If I ever have the inclination to jump back into the Twilight world, I just watch the movies because they're alright. They're pretty decent. The next series I have here is the Dimly series by Estelle Maskin. Love it. I was hesitant to pick it up at first, but I'm so glad that I did. I absolutely loved it. There's not much to really say about this. If you enjoy like a new adult romance, kind of forbidden romance, following really lovable characters in a beautiful setting, in all three books there's a beautiful setting, then read this. The writing is there, the characters are there, plot is there, so this is like a pretty good read and I recommend it, and I totally do a reread myself. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this. So if you have not heard of it or have not seen it or picked up, then I really explore you to read it. You will not regret it. It was a fun time. So yeah, nothing like absolutely mind blowing. Like A Court of Thorns and Roses is like my top, and Dimly just falls in like the middle, but still great, still lovely, and I still gave all of them 5 stars because they're great. And the next two I have here, I'm putting together because it's the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. So I think everyone knows what these are about, obviously. The Mortal Instruments I enjoyed, it was alright. But the real showstopper for me was the Infernal Devices. Absolutely adored it. So like this comes under A Court of Thorns and Roses for me because I just really loved it, but it didn't beat my favorite series of all time, obviously. But it is so close to that kind of level that it's just totally worth reading. I am pretty sure everyone's heard of The Mortal Instruments or The Dark Artifices or The Last Hours. Like, there's just so many. I'm pretty sure you've heard of them, so I'm not going to explain them here. But if you do have any inclination to pick any of these books up, please make it the Infernal Devices. The Mortal Instruments is okay, I enjoyed it, but the Infernal Devices is where it's at, and if you're gonna jump into this world, please jump in through that trilogy because it's great. The next series I have here is Anna and the French Kiss. This is not a series per se, it's more like a companion series. So there's Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After. I enjoyed all of them, but Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door are my two favourites. I actually just unhauled Isla and the Happily Ever After, so that will be on my unhaul video if you're interested. It will be somewhere linked down below or up in the cards. But yeah, either way, I really enjoyed the first two books. The third one just wasn't as good for me. I read this off of a BookTube recommendation. Are we surprised? I think not. Yeah, but like I think if I went back to reread them, I wouldn't like them as much because I know there is cheating in the first one, and I have come to realize as a reader I just don't like that as a storyline. So yeah, I don't think I would like them as much now if I reread them, but they were fun for what they were, and I am glad that I read a BookTube favourite. The next series I have here is The Summer I Turned Pretty. This is a trilogy by Jenny Han, and I enjoyed this. I actually read this like a whole bind up. It was huge. I read it on holiday and it was fun. I read it lying on the beach. I had a good time. It was dramatic. It was everything I wanted for a beach read. I would not reread this series. I probably would recommend it to a slightly younger audience because the way that it is written, but I much prefer the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han. So if I was to recommend what series I would choose, would be the To All the Boys I've Loved Before. You can binge the series and you can watch these movies on Netflix and have an amazing time with them. I love the movies. I think they've done them really good. But unfortunately, The Summer I Turned Pretty was fun for what it was. I read it on the beach. I had a nice time with it. I would not pick it up again. But I have finished the To All the Boys I've Loved trilogy, and I loved it and I liked it more. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say about this. I picked it up because I seen it on BookTube and I just didn't really like it that much, but I did find an author that I do like. I do like Jenny Han's work. I think I gave two books a 3 star, in one book a 3.5 star in the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, and then To All the Boys I Loved Before, I think I gave 2 a 5 star and 1 a 4 star. So it just all works out in ratings for me that this is the superior series. And if I was to recommend one, it would be this one. The next one that I have is The Hunger Games. I don't think that you need much explanation for this. I read this a long time ago. I loved it for what it was when I read it. Don't think it would live up on reread because I've read so many books since then that I just think that my tastes have changed and my kind of feeling for things have changed. So I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much upon reread. I don't know if I'm going to pick up a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because I just don't know if I have any interest in it. Like, I enjoyed The Hunger Games for what it was, and I've watched the movies and I've read the books, and I think I'm just done with that world. I think that there's newer, more entertaining, more intriguing worlds that I want to enter now, and I'm just ready to like leave that part alone. Again, loved it for what it was when I read it. Don't think it would live up upon reread, but it is a booktube, a world favourite. So if you're interested, pick them up. But you probably already have because they're just so popular. The next one that I have here is one that I'm really excited about. So it's the Diana Madden series by A.R. Tor or Alexandra Tor. I read the first book of this and absolutely adored it. It is false alarm. I thought someone was at my door and just sitting listening to me like speak to no one. False alarm, false alarm. There's no one there. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about the Diana Madden trilogy. So I read the first book, and this is essentially about a cam girl, but she's a cam girl because she is psycho. Like, she wants to kill people, and she knows she wants to kill people. So like, she stays inside to stop herself from killing people, but in a way to get an income, she becomes a cam girl, and it's just so good. Like, this is like a murder mystery with a bit of like romance, a bit of smut, a bit of mystery. It's just like, I cannot sing this trilogy's praises enough. I don't see it everywhere, and I really wish that I did because I loved it. I gave all the books of the series in the trilogy, 5 stars. They just were so good. If Diana Madden was a 10-book series, I would read it. I just loved it so much, and this is like something that I would recommend, not to everyone because it is pretty explicit in some parts and there is uncomfortable themes throughout, so I would maybe look up content warnings if you ever do decide to read this trilogy, which I highly recommend you do. But I just think that it's got something for everyone, and I absolutely adore it, and I wish more people spoke about it. It's a little bit of an older series, but it still hits the same. I only read this in the last like 2 years. It still hits the same. It's still great. Please read it. And the last series that I have here, and the most recent, is Shades of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is the Shades of London trilogy, and I adored this. This comes right under A Court of Thorns and Roses for me. This was everything that I wanted. It is a world built upon magic, and like, there's a red London that has magic, there is a black London that doesn't have magic, there's a white London thriving off of nothing, and then there's grey London, which is our London. I'm totally a red London bitch. I don't know why I got stuck in fucking grey London, but we will thrive. It is fine. I love the characters, I love the world, I love the magic system, I love the writing. This was grade A for me. It comes right under my favourite series, so that tells you how much I loved this trilogy. It just was everything, and I just was so late to the game on this series, and I regret every decision I made that made me not read this book because it's amazing. So yeah, that was a good one. So that is all I have for you today. Most of these series I've loved or enjoyed. Some of them have just been mediocre, but I love reading series. I love entering worlds. I love following characters for multiple books, and I will never stop reading series. So this list will eventually grow, but as of 2021, January 1st, this is all of the series I have completed. Please comment down below the series that you have completed, maybe some of your favourite top tier series, let me know in the comments. I have a few videos coming out soon, so subscribe and hit the bell if you're interested in seeing my face be awkward again. And have a nice day, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you next time.
Pack up my summer in a Ziploc bag. Old maps and tchotchkes, photographs said this and that. I'll write myself a letter so that I'll remember